Hey, what's up, guys? This is the reviewer here, and today we're talking about How to Train Your Dragon. Jeez, I only talk about kid stuff on this channel. I'll get to normal stuff soon. I promise. It's just a bunch of kids movies that have been coming out. So this movie is just awesome. Like I saw it on Rotten Tomatoes, it was like a 98%, and all the other movies have been good. So I wasn't planning to see the new one, but I thought like all of the like basically the first one has like a 98% Rotten Tomatoes. The second one has a 92%, and the third one has a 96. And I was like, all right, something must be good about this. Like, and I was surprised to see that just because it's like a kids movie. But yeah, this movie was just awesome. So it takes place in this village called Burke, and it we see Hiccup, who is probably like 11, 12 years old, and he hasn't really lived up to his father's expectations, which is really what the whole story is about. And the whole basically Burke is always being attacked by dragons, and so the Vikings of Burke have to defend against these dragons, and Hiccup has never really been that good at it, so he's kind of the disappointment of the family. But then is able to kind of capture one, and he can't really kill it. He just can't bring himself to do it. So he kind of befriends this new dragon. He names him Toothless, and it's just and then we see him back at the village, like having this certain way with dragons, and everyone is like, "Whoa, how's he doing that?" Because no one had ever seen anything like it before, and it's really just awesome. The way the whole story told, it's kind of told a bit of like a montage way, and like for a kids movie, it's pretty serious. Like it tells a good story, and then when you get kind of to the third act of the movie, you find out that the dragons aren't actually trying to kill the Vikings. They're just trying to get food for this like really big dragon. And I thought this was a smart way of going about it to give us something to root against. Because if you think about it, we're kind of rooting for everything up until that point in the movie, where like we're rooting for the humans with Hiccup and everything, but we're also seeing that the dragons are pretty good too. So it gives us something to root against, having this big dragon that kind of like a queen bee that everyone's rooting for. And so it ends with them being able to take out the big dragon and the humans and the dragons being able to live in harmony. And it was really cool. Just a really good story. I was watching, I was like, wow, this is really good. I see why I got like a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. And the score is also awesome. They're playing all this cool like battle music, and it's really really cool. And there's this one theme, like I'm not gonna sing it, but they have like this main theme that keeps coming back to the movies, and it's really catchy and recognizable. And also, this movie just has some awesome characters. We have Hiccup, who we kind of liked right from the start because we see that he's really kind. We have Hiccup's dad, who at the beginning of the movie is really not proud of his son, but then he grows to become proud of the man that his son has become. And then there's also a nice cast of people Hiccup's age who he kind of trains with, who bring probably a lot to the movie. Like, so you have Agnes, who is kind of the love interest and ends up getting with Finn at the end of the movie. And then you have the twins. And the twins, they're kind of there and they add for a little bit of like comic relief, but they don't do as much. Then you have this guy who's voiced by Jonah Hill, and I thought he was really funny, and Jonah Hill's pretty awesome. And then you also have this guy who seems to have like read a lot, and he really knows his stuff about dragons. And they're all pretty likable. Like at first, they're not very nice to Hiccup, but overall, they all end up being nice people and all end up being people that you root for at the end when they all run in to save the day on their dragons. So they're all people you're rooting for, and with that, the voice acting in this movie is also really good. Like everyone just has a voice that you can, I guess, get behind. And the movie was just done really well. Everything about it, the animation looks beautiful. And this was made like 10 years ago. And I feel like they really set up characters that we really appreciate and characters that we can all get behind. I really don't have any major complaints for this movie. I guess sometimes there would be like the kids were just there for exposition and it got a little bit montage heavy, but I think it still worked. I think it was still a really good movie. I'm going to give How to Train Your Dragon, the first one, an A. I thought this movie was really solid. It looked great. It told a good story. It sounded great. And I'm really excited to see the second one. And then if the second one's good, probably the third one. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been The Reviewer. Please consider liking and subscribing if you like this video. And keep watching movies.